Let's open this meeting with Pledge Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, number 2, open public forum. Anybody that's not on the agenda wishing to speak? Rita Hennon.
More and I'd be east out. Do I need to move this at all?
Yeah, you want to speak right into the, you don't have to be super close, but you have to be directional too.
Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Yep, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Rita Hannon. I'm president of the Cold Spring Area Historical Society, and I just wanted to invite everyone to an upcoming event that we have for a fundraiser on Friday, June 21st. We are doing a tap takeover at the 3rd Street Brew House. Once again, the brewery is very generous to all the nonprofits in town, and we're very lucky to be selected to be one of them again this year. So we invite everybody down to enjoy the beers. They've got a couple new ones that are kind of geared towards summer, so that should be fun. And we have some good food planned, pulled pork, pizza, super nachos, things like that. We've got music by a band called Random Road, and they'll be performing in a couple different areas around our area, and Summertime by George. So it should be a great band and should be enjoyed by everybody. So come on down and bring your family and friends, and hope you have a good time.
All right. Thanks, Rita.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rita. Anybody else? Otherwise, we'll move on to
Yep.
number 3, approval of the amended agenda. I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Doug
second
makes a
it.
motion.
You
Gary
can go on to that
seconds it.
tonight.
Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Number 4, consent agenda. Recommendation to approve the consent agenda as presented. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Gary makes a motion.
I'll
Need a
second it.
Doug seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Number 5, joint resolution for designation of certain land and immediate annexation of entire designated area.
This is the annexation of the parcel that the city is going to be buying for the water treatment plant from Mr. Schmidt up north of the distribution center and west of the water tower, east of North Point. And then it's a section of his large parcel that we are annexing by a legal description of meets and bounds. And that was the part of the requirement in the purchase agreement that we annexed it. And then we'll be closing hopefully this month. We need to close before the 28th to have the deed dated before the 28th so that the county does not assess taxes for 2020. They've already assessed for 2019, but not for 2020. And I'm sorry, Wakefield did sign it at their meeting on Thursday. So I will be submitting everything immediately tomorrow if you approve it.
All right, I'll read the recommendation. Recommendation to approve the joint resolution for designation of certain land and immediate annexation of the entire designated area. I need a motion on that.
I'll make the motion.
Doug makes a motion.
Second.
Gary seconds it. Any discussion? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Second recommendation is to allow the mayor and I to sign off on all documentation necessary to get that closing done.
Recommendation to grant the mayor and city administrator the authority to sign all necessary documents to close on the purchase of the designated area from Arnold Schmidt. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Doug makes a motion.
And I'll second it.
Gary seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
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 Against? Motion carries. Number 6, Public Works Director John Stevie, along with Brian Lynch.
Good evening.
As you can see, I've got no items for action tonight. Just want to discuss a few things. The seal coating project we did last year up by First Street North by Gary's and Doug's. It's turning out really crappy. The chips are wearing off way faster than they should. If you take a tour down 14th Avenue, you can see that project was done 2 years ago and it looks like it's still just got done. Whereas the other one looks like it's been there for 20 years or more already. Talking with the company, it sounds like there might have been a lack of oil put down. The rep is coming out in a couple days. Going to meet with me. We're going to figure out a solution for what we need to fix it. Hopefully they cooperate pretty well and they're good about it. That was Allied Blacktopping out of Maple Grove, so I will also keep that in mind in the near future here when we do some coating this year. So hopefully we can get that straightened out. Lawnmower, I want to thank Franny Ramler at Riverside Power and Equipment for letting us borrow his trailer over the last week. He's been real nice about that. Powerhouse Equipment at St. Joe. We have a lawnmower out of service, and they brought one out that we can use for free for a while. So that's going to be nice to keep us going with mowing grass. So huge thank you to those two businesses for that. And then the pilot, it's been moving forward good. They had a little downfall last week. They shut it down last weekend. That's all straightened out. Minnesota Department of Health is putting a crew together of a bunch of their staff. They want to come out and see this new technology. They're pretty excited about it. So over the next couple weeks, we'll probably line something up with them. They're going to come out, I don't know, 5 to 10 staff members, I suppose, Stantec, and possibly even AdEdge from Georgia is going to come fly in for it, just to kind of give them a run through on the pilot. So the results are still looking great. They're taking them from a 13.5 now down to a 0. Another thing we've been testing on our own that isn't required through the Department of Health is iron and manganese, and it's been pulling the iron down from a 0.07 to 0.01. So that's good news for the residents around town with rusty water and stuff like that. So everything's been going fairly well with that. That's all I got. Unless you got any questions for me?
Get that in?
I do. John, I talked to a number of the residents on that street you mentioned, and they want me to extend their thanks and appreciation for you investigating that. As you and I had discussed, Bridget, they thought something might not be right there, but thank you very much for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully we can get straightened out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear that there was something wasn't right there, the way it's peeling off, and you can see the lines of where it came spraying, the oil sprayed out of the sprayer, and it should kind of puddle out, which it must not have. But
Thank you.
you bet.
All right, we'll move on to number 7. City Engineer Report, Brian Lynch.
Mr. Mayor and Council, County Road 158, First Street South, we're working on feasibility report. I do have a request to approve the quote from ITT for soil borings out there. We want to do, I think it's 5 or 6 borings, basically kind of get down to the bottom below the sewer level to see what kind of dirt we're working with, what kind of groundwater we're working with. So.
Okay, I'll read your recommendation. To approve the independent testing technologies quote of $2,945 for soil boring testing for First Street South. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Gary makes a motion.
I'll second it.
Doug seconds it. Any discussion? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
All right, thank you. I will let them know, and they're anticipating being out here pretty soon.
Okay.
Water treatment, John gave a little update on that. Alexander Park, the city this week has done a formal review of the plans for the building, for the site, for everything out there, so we've provided that back to the foundation. And then we also had the groundbreaking tonight, so good group of people out there, and they're looking to get moving here pretty quick.
Good.
And then River Links construction is going, the pipe work is done, and they're waiting on road work out there, so things are moving right along. That's all I have.
Any questions for Brian? Always thank you guys very much.
Thanks, guys.
Number 8, Police Department report. Chief Bloom.
Mr. Mayor, Council, good evening. Start off with just a monthly report for month of May of this year. In Cold Spring, we had 378 total incidents for the month, 21 medicals, 20 suspicious activities, 164 traffic stops with 150 warnings and 65 violations. In those traffic stops, we had 4 alcohol violations and 173 miscellaneous calls for service. Also in the city of Richmond for May, we had 104 total incidents for the month, 4 medicals, 5 suspicious activities, 52 traffic stops with 53 warnings, and 10 citations, and then 43 miscellaneous calls for service. So definitely getting, now that school's out, going to be in the cabins are opening up along the chain. We're definitely getting into our busy time, which we've noticed quite a bit. I also attached a letter for the SRO position for next school year. At the end of this school year, Officer Zayas finished his 8th year in the school as the SRO. I want to thank him for all his effort and work he's done up there. I think he did a good job. And this summer, he's coming back out to the road. He's going to stay on the road. So worked with the school to look at our options. With us starting a new full-time position in September, I was able to open up the SRO position to all the officers that were interested. Sitting down with the school, we kind of reviewed all those and made a selection for Officer Dean Baumgarten. He's been with our department as a part-time officer for the last 8 years. He's been a teacher for 23. He's still a licensed teacher, has a master's degree in teaching. He's taught all grades from K through 12, with the last couple being, the last several being elementary school, 4th and 5th grades. So he brings a lot of experience in the school setting, so I'm just excited to see where that can go.
Okay, recommendation to approve the hiring of Dean Baumgarten as a full-time police officer. Furthermore, to approve the pay rate of $26.22 during his 6-month probationary period, and then a step increase annually thereafter, contingent on successful completion of a psychological exam and background check. I need a motion on that.
I'll make the motion.
Doug makes the motion.
I'll second.
Gary seconds it. Any discussion? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then, yeah, just to clarify, that spot won't start full-time until September 1st. This just gives me the ability to go through everything, start setting up for next year. Thank you, though. Another thing we have coming up is a mock crash on June 13th, which is Thursday. A free meal that's been donated will start at 5:30 p.m. and the crash itself will start at 7. And the event will be held on the north side of the elementary school in the parking lot there. If anybody's not familiar, it's by the practice football field. Bleachers will be set up on, and tables and stuff will be set up on the school side of that parking lot. So hopefully we'll have some signage up there and hopefully we get a good turnout and the weather works out with us, which right now I think it's looking like it should. Another thing, there is now a no U-turn sign installed on 23 by Dairy Queen for westbound traffic. I know we've gotten a lot of complaints over the years. We've had a lot of issues with accidents and different things. Finally, after some conversation, Public Works Director Stevie was able to help us out with contacting the right person to get that sign installed. I know there's been a large amount of enforcement over the last, I think, couple weeks now, and we have seen a big change in how traffic is coming out of there. They're going down to the lights instead of making that U-turn, so I think it's become much safer. So we finally got to the point we were hoping to get to. So I think it's going in the right direction, and we're already noticing a difference.
Good. Go ahead, Doug.
Jason, also the pork chop, I've noticed in the past few weeks, more and more of them are coming out of there now. How long is this sign? I guess I never noticed the sign was there.
Yep.
But this has been probably the last 2 weeks, I think I saw 6 people come out of that pork chop and then head east.
And shoot straight across?
Yeah,
Okay.
so just,
No, we've had
Heads up
officers
to
sit
watch.
down and try to be very visible by that U-turn. And if they still make that U-turn, have that, educate and enforce. But no, that's definitely one of the things we'll keep an eye on and see if we can correct that as well.
sounds good, thanks.
Thank you for the info. And then also, just a reminder, ordinances are being checked. We've got officers out. If you have any questions about any concerns about ordinances, you can contact our office or the city, and we'll try and get those answered. And then just a couple other things. We had a post audit today. It's the Peace Officers Standards and Training Board. It's the state board that governs our post mandate, stuff mandated by statute that we qualify every year, the training that we're required to get, new trainings that we're required to get. He was in this afternoon and reviewed all our records, and everything looked good. So going in the right direction there. And also just wanted to thank the Winners Company and everybody that came out to the bike rodeo over in Richmond tonight. Had a good turnout. It sounded like there's a lot of sporting events and stuff for kids, but that it could be better. But we just want to thank everybody for coming out and congratulate the winner of the new bike from the Winners Company. So that's all I have.
Any questions?
Any questions for me?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, number 9 then, city administrator report.
The only thing I have is I got the notice requesting whether or not the city was going to have a float in the parade, and every year we do the city truck, and a variety of you will be in it. So if you want to check your calendars for August 18th, I have to have it submitted by July 12th, so you don't have to make a decision now, but let me know if you will be able to be in the parade. And I'll check back with you later. And then the only other thing I have is Fox 9 is tomorrow night at the ballpark. We put it out on Facebook, getting a lot of notices for it. They called yesterday and asked for someone who could give a little historical update of landmarks in the town. And I did ask the president of the EDA, Jim Kramer, to do that. So if you're watching, you'll be hearing Jim narrate some of the history of Cold Spring. They'll be doing some individual family and other stories from 5 to 7 all through their broadcast, and then again at 9. So they're live here, news, weather, sports, everything's going to be done from the ballpark.
From the ballpark, yeah.
So either go there and be a part of the cheering or watch it and enjoy.
Hide somewhere. Hide somewhere.
Bridget, you want to mention something about the hydrant flushing session from last
Oh, yeah.
week?
And then Flushing was going to be yesterday or tomorrow, but it's getting moved to Thursday. And
Okay.
we did put that on the marquee, change the date, and we have it on the Facebook page for people to keep an eye out for.
All right. Any questions for Bridget? Otherwise, we'll move on to number 10, list of bills and additions. Recommendation to review and accept payment of the accounts payable according to the list and supplemental list presented by city staff. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Gary makes a motion.
I'll second it.
Doug seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. General questions and comments from city council. Doug?
Nothing.
Gary? I have nothing. Then we go to number 12, closed session pursuant to Minnesota statute, section 13D.05, subdivision 3A, to conduct a performance review of fire chief.